Good morning. So I'm back to doing lives and I don't know, I've been doing live shifts lately. So here's a little bit of a recap if you are not on Patreon and you haven't been following along. This is the 4th year of the cosmic calendar. Okay. So we are at every year there's a numerology number that attaches to the year, right? So since this is the 4th year, it's really tied to the heart chakra, 4, the heart chakra, right? Numerology of 4 means your intuition and your higher self and your heart center. When you look at the cosmic calendar, though, there is a planet called, there's a celestial influence called Rahu. And it's also being led by Saturn. That means that this month right now is going to be, this whole entire year is going to be something that's really powerful for you for massive changes. Not only changes in like your friendships, your families, your relationships, but also internal changes. So you may have noticed that at the end of December, beginning of January, a lot of people started like fluctuating out of your life. You maybe started seeing people being real with themselves, right? That's part of that Saturn Rahu energy that's coming in. So with that, in February's been a lot of Rahu energy that's stimulating you to force yourself to change from the things that you normally do all the time. Okay. So like January is to like clear out the way. February is all about like, who are you? What do you really want? And are you going for it? Okay. And that's why I'm here today, right? To talk about this, not only on like an aspect of, oh, how does this influence your life personally, right? But also like how I've been noticing it's affecting my life personally, right? So one of the really major things that made me want to make this video today was the fact that I woke, like last night I was meditating and I had these really powerful experiences in my meditation where I would wake up at certain hours of the night, like thinking about something. Oh, I found the answer to this and this and this, didn't I? I would look at the clock and the clock would say 1:37. I would fall asleep again, kind of like fathom something else and wake up, that's the answer to what I'm looking for, isn't it? Look at the clock, 5:11. Okay, so for my first question, 1:37, I found the answer. That would have been telling me 1, you're manifesting 3 with the master, 7 in harmony. Yes, you do have your answer. When I thought about it the second time, 5:11, it was telling me changes are happening because you're 1 manifesting this change into movement, 5 being the change. Okay, so then I was like, okay, what I've been channeling lately, this is what the cosmos is telling me right now, and it's 9:07, 9:08 right now as it changed over. Okay, so 9:07 being 9 involvement, 0 the universe, 7 in harmony, and then when it switched to 8, as I'm looking at it, it's telling us this is abundance right now. This is something that's going to change your abundance factor super. Okay, and this is something that's really liberated me this month, really realizing it. In January, I had to come down to this understanding with myself about, you know, where am I going with my life? What do I really want out of my life? And how am I going to make that happen? When I came to that understanding, a bunch of people moved out of my reality. Okay. In January, I started saying, okay, now that in February, now that I said, since all of January's obstructions have been moved out of my way, how do I make things even clearer for myself? And as I've been meditating and coming to all these different answers about like, you know, you do this one thing so that you don't have to do this other thing and it just backfires for you in the long run. I've come down to this really profound understanding. I just don't care anymore how I'm going to share my information with people. I know so much about the cosmos and so much from all these other lifetimes that it does not make sense anymore, me just trying to stay very linear and producing things one step at a time, right? For courses specifically. So I'm going to be involved more often just producing things like this to give you guys ways to turn your lifestyle into ascension. So you guys have been hearing me say that as my opener for some of these new videos that I've been creating, because I've been thinking about like, how did I get to this level right here? I meditate all the time. I really sit down and I focus on what is it that I want? How do I make shifts to get there? Okay. And when I look at that, it's my lifestyle. I'm not doing just meditation or energy work like when someone needs a healing or when I'm in need of something, like I'm perpetually manifesting. I am perpetually healing. I am perpetually doing something because ascension, alchemy, reality is all lifestyle, right? So then this is what you can look at when you think about Esther Hicks and talking about the vortex. That's one way you step into the vortex if you know anything about Esther Hicks's teachings. Like it's straight up, the vortex is being in a flow of motion towards what it is that you want. A lot of the times people want a flow in motion, but they don't want to like kind of change like the rhythm of things or the vibration of things. So then they kind of like stall out. Give me 1 second. Partially changing your rhythm is changing how you personally do things with other people. Um, at the beginning of January, I was being influenced to like make major changes in my shop. I started making these changes. One of the major changes I made was I started holding people accountable before they even became like a client of mine. Hey, I'm having this issue where I think I'm being cursed because I have all these entities attached to me. Okay, I can help you only if you understand that you're half of the medicine. I can correct the issue, but if you want it to stick, you have to do the work. And if someone tells me, I guess I could do that. No, no thanks. I'm not really interested in you coming over. Doesn't matter to me about the money, doesn't matter to me about anything. Can you handle the level of medicine that I'm about to deliver? If you can't, don't show up to my door because you're going to annoy me and I'm not going to want to work for you. And I'm also one of those people that I'm looking now really deeply into my own personal, like my vibration, right? Like, how have I gotten to where I'm at? Because I'm a no shit type of person. Like I don't play games. I'm too conscious to be playing games with other people and like entertaining their BS is basically where it comes down to, right? So like I know myself far too well as a healer, as a high conscious being. And this is you practicing higher consciousness, is valuing yourself and understanding where are you coming from and what makes you still thrive. One of the things that makes me super thrive, I don't like dealing with people who don't have the same willpower that I have. When I've said I need to fix something, I will put myself through whatever it is that I got to do to come out on top. Like, if you don't have that level of willpower, don't be in my presence. Like, maybe study something that I've created online. That's not being like directly in my vibration, right? And that's one of the things that I've noticed. Like a lot of people have told me in the past, it's really intense to be around you in person because you put out so much energy, right? And it can be really, really intense. But people who see me on video can kind of get a more like distant perspective of that vibration. So then I'm looking at like, okay, my vibration kind of has like these different levels to it. When I create a video like this, you probably getting more of a medium vibration because you're seeing the nice me that's probably brought you here. And then maybe you're part of other, like you've worked with me one-on-one or you're in my Patreon and you've been able to get a little bit of my other vibration of like the type of person that I don't necessarily always share with everyone. And that's what's really come down to today. Like this morning I woke up and I'm like, man, like one of the reasons why I'm not as productive is because I'm always in some way, shape, or form throttling myself, right? Because for instance, if I course on a certain platform, then they have a set of rules that like I can't, I can't express myself this way. I had to express myself in like a more professional fashion. But what's to say professionalism is the same thing for everyone? Professionalism for me is being real. That's something coming out of my throat chakra, literally. I always feel like this really intense electric charge when I'm speaking some personal truth, or I've come down to understanding really something personalized. And if you've been watching my throat alchemy videos that I've created most recently, that's what your throat chakra is tied to: will, authenticity, you know, knowledge, wisdom. So if you're experiencing, whenever you're being real with yourself, if you're experiencing your throat chakra like you're coughing, or maybe it's really electric, you know you're being real with yourself. You know that you're directly confronting the shadow. Okay. And in a way, because we know we're activating this, at the same time, you can safely say that you're spell casting. So right now, as I'm sharing this broadcast with you, I'm spell casting something that I've solidified now in my reality with you in real time. So I'm manifesting right now in real time, and you're experiencing my personal manifest. That's powerful. And that's where I'm trying to take you now. Like, stop looking at the fact that you're watching this video maybe today, 20 years from now, whatever, and that there's a distance. Like, maybe it still applies to me, maybe it doesn't apply to me. Like, it doesn't really matter. Time doesn't exist. So just, Axel, stop throttling yourself on just teaching alchemy. Stop throttling yourself on like just trying to be like this nice version of yourself that is supposed to be an ascension guide. And that's where I really started opening up this can of worms. Some ascension guides came here to teach you how to love. Some ascension guides came here to teach you how to really embrace light. Other ones came here to teach you alchemy. Other ones came here to teach you something like how to heal yourself, whatever it is. Some of us are really good at a little bit of everything. Okay. And when you're looking at that, if you're a healer, if you're a light worker, particularly, and you're trying to fit yourself into some type of mold that is like the healer profile or the light worker profile, you're going to spend a lot of time not actually tapping into your divine abilities, because the whole process of labels, the whole process of like having these standards is in a way, yes, to say like, this is how you can scale like what's authentic and what's not, and who's actually put in the work to learn this stuff and who hasn't, right? So if you put me next to somebody, they better have at least 20 something years of experience in shamanism to even come close to the level of things that I do. So right, that's one way to gauge, because you can tell this person's had probably 2 years of experience versus this person who's had a lifetime of experience. But a lot of times we also look at, okay, here are these two healers, right? Okay, these two healers. This healer is really no BS, cuts to the chase, and let's get it done, get out, and let's go live life, right? Because we have better things to do than to face trauma and be stuck in the illusion. That's how my vibration is. And sometimes people look at that vibration and they're like, I gotta strive to be that. But maybe you don't have my vibration. Maybe I'm here to help you kind of change your mindset on how you look at certain things so you can find your own personal answers by incorporating all your other experiences to really develop your own vibration. Okay. A lot of times people will also try to follow this one ascension guide, and that ascension guide teaches you a bunch about heart-centered teachings, right? And for them, yes, that's their vibration. That manifestation technique for that ascension guide is very powerful. And for a lot of people who resonate with that ascension guide, it's also very powerful. But for some of you, even this is something else I've talked about in my classes on Antojai. It's like, for some of you, gratitude is coming from the heart. And it's something like, yes, I'm so happy, I'm in love, I got that gratitude, all of that, right? But for some of us, like me, I have not had love for a large amount of my life. I grew up in a very hard kind of setting. So my level of gratitude doesn't get generated from the same place as someone who does a heart-centered teaching saying, I generate from this space of love and gratitude and peace. Like, gratitude for me might be harmony, not love, for instance. Or gratitude for me might be being present, not necessarily looking at what is actually in my most immediate presence. Do you hear that? Like, it's not really looking at what's in my most immediate presence, but actually just simply being present. as long as you're generating it from your heart center, there is no wrong way to do it, as long as, and you're gonna know, like if you're generating it from your heart center, it's like this collapsing feeling into your like heart chakra, and it expands outward, and it's electrified, and you'll see light, and you'll see spectrums of different kinds of vibration. Why am I telling you this? Because I've practiced this a long time. Okay, I've seen other modalities, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try, and I'll try, and I'll try, and I'll try, and I can get a feel for it, but it doesn't stick. And then up until, the reason that I found out how this all worked, I would be like, well, maybe it's me. Maybe there's something flawed inside of me, and that's why I can't tap into this heart-centered teaching. It wasn't until I was like, this person probably had all these experiences that allowed them to really feel that vibration. But for me, I need to find my own vibration of what gratitude means or what love means, right? A lot of times that always comes back to, who are you? What are you? What do you really want out of your life? How do you really want to get it? And are you willing to make the shifts to make it happen? Is literally what it comes down to. That's one of those really powerful things. And for me, last night, it just came down to this. Very simple. I temper myself too much. In a way, if you want to look at this as like a mental collapse, or like, I just don't care anymore, I really just don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I'm going to teach you how I've become who I am. Like, I'm not here to teach you necessarily about love. I'm here to teach you about the cosmos. That's what I came here for. I came here to teach you how to master reality so that no one else can take that away from you. At this point, if you're following me and you like really value me, I know some of you are going to be like, ooh, that vibration doesn't like really vibe with me. Maybe it's too intense for you. That's okay. Like, there's a bunch of other people online that can definitely help you find your vibration. I'm not going to come from a place of like negativity. I'm just going to come from a place of straightness, like realness. I do everything to produce ascension. But in order for you to produce ascension, you need to change how you look at life, and you need to sometimes be even more real with your reality than you ever have been before. Part of that is being like, okay, I'm somebody who throttles myself. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just share my truth. And we're going to see what brings out results, because it's gotten me results. And I know it's going to get you results. So today, what I want you to walk away from is, who are you? And are you trying to put yourself in a healer bubble? Do you have a definition of what a healer means? And are you trying to live inside of that? Or maybe a light worker, or whatever it is that you call yourself? Are you looking at me and other like ascension guides saying, I want to completely embody that person? You can't. You are your own vibration. Even though we are all one, you are still a spectrum of source that must exist in your individuality to summon that which is source, because you came here essentially to experience and retransmit that information of source experiencing itself as Michelle or Jacob or Excel, and transmitting that perception of reality and all the multidimensionality that comes with that back to source. The only way source and you as an extension of source can become one is by understanding this really profound vibration, that individualism is one of your greatest tools. A lot of times healers get stuck in this like, oh, we're all one. I'm just going to like let go of everything that I have for the collective. You need to learn how to do that. That's something you have to learn how to do. And that should be your priority. But it's a moment that you let go of the fact that like you're still an individual that still has a singular vibration that is source itself. Like if you were source and everything you create, a dinner dish that you create, a plant that you help grow, a child that you make, a person that you inspire, those are all vibrations of source. If you're the main source and you're creating all these ripple effects, all those ripple effects have to exist in every multidimensional aspect, because you are source. The same thing would happen if source is just like this ball of light and each person is literally one of those actions that source wanted to make, and it spreads out multidimensionally. When you understand that and you own your vibration and you say, okay, what empowers me? What makes me be real with myself? I don't like working with people who don't have, personally, one-on-one, I don't like working with people who don't have my willpower, or who are coming to me to ask for a magic solution because they don't want to dive into their shadow or their subconscious and confront the pain and pull it out for themselves. I don't like working with people like that. That's okay. Because where I'm at, where I want to work with people who are at that level, there are many other healers who have that vibration and that temperance to give that kind of energy to someone who really doesn't have the urge or necessity to drive themselves. And you can feel like how my vibration is like, I'm really like, let's get this done. But for some people need to be guided in a different direction. And that's okay. That is okay. I am just here to teach you how to not get stuck in patterns, because labels, we all have grown up being like told, yeah, we're gay, we're straight, we're black, we're white. These labels are to create what? Separation from source. But a lot of people get lost in verbal wording as well. Definitions, labels, healer, light worker. And then you get stuck in like, oh, I'm a healer. I came here just to heal. Surprise. Let me just share something real with you. Most recently, I read this article about like, I think 12 different templates of the kinds of healers that exist here, who came here to like help the world. I'm literally each one. I can do each one of the abilities on that template. And I encourage you guys, look it up, type it in Google, 12 types of light workers. Some articles just show up with like a blue hand on it. When you read it, like see how many of those things you can actually do. All right. And when you look at that and you're looking at that list and you're like, oh man, I can see blueprints. I can do healing. I definitely have meditated with the grids. I'm very conscious of whatever. I can see into the future. Why are you then just, it's going to force you to look at it and be like, oh, I've been calling myself a healer this whole entire time. And I never really realized that I had all these other things that are really valuable and that I'm not just a healer. And when I really kind of like was looking at all of that like a couple weeks ago, even though I knew I had all these abilities, but I never really had thought about like, I'm embodying every different kind of light worker that's out there. Like, I'm not even an ascension guide. Like, I am here to fit the necessary vibration. So if there's a grid worker day that's necessary and Gaia's asking me to be a grid worker and practice the neurocodes, I'm gonna just do that naturally because I'm here to exist. If I need to be right here today telling you this message as an ascension guide, I'm gonna do that too because that's what I came here to do, to exist. But if I keep telling myself, I'm a healer, I'm supposed to heal, I'm supposed to heal, I'm supposed to stay in healing, you're gonna notice that maybe your life doesn't feel so like fulfilling because you're putting yourself in a box. If you've been feeling like healing is a little bit too intense for you, maybe it's not fun anymore because you've been doing it for many years. Rather, you find a new healing modality that's going to change you, or you're going to have to stop looking at yourself and what you've been doing in the same light that you've always had to do it. That's how you get out of like cycles and ruts, and essentially, because everything in this reality is an illusion, especially when it comes down to your thought. That's the biggest thing I want you guys to walk away with today, is like your thought is the biggest thing that creates everything in this reality, which also creates the biggest illusion. Okay. So are you stuck thinking in a certain way? Your thoughts are alchemy. All right. I had to come up to this morning and be like, I just don't care anymore. Like I'm just gonna say how it is. Like, because my vibration is not to just be like, I'm not here to be like, let's just be love and meditate through it. Some days we need that. Yeah, for sure. Like today, we need a wake-up call. You need to, hello, get it together. Get out of the little box that you're in. That's why you're listening to this right now. Get out of whatever definitional box, quantum healer, light worker, ascension guide, whatever it is. Get out of that. What are you capable of? Redefine yourself. maybe find no definition. That's something that's really powerful for me too, is like, I have no definition. I'm just here. I exist. My purpose is to be on this dimensional platform to exist. That's why I came here. That's why the universe has asked me to be here. That's what my vibration is to expand, however that is necessary when the cosmos asks me for that. That's the biggest thing for you today. I'm sending you tons of love. Thank you for following. Thank you for like following this new vibration, because I'm really excited. I feel like I haven't been able to produce things for a while because I'm always like, I always get to this point where I'm like, man, maybe if you're just if you say it how you really feel like you should say it, people aren't gonna vibe with it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm not producing anything because I'm tempering myself. So am I doing any service for anyone actually tempering myself, right? No, because I'm not getting anything done. And I had to like wake up and be like, okay, if you want to get to the next level, if you want to keep really fulfilling yourself, because that's what I'm just doing. I'm trying to fulfill myself right now. I'm trying to feel like my existence matters in the cosmos. And for me to do that, I have to really stop giving a shit about what everyone else might think while they're watching this video, or what everyone's going to think about my teachings in general. Because I've been doing this all my life. I know I get results. I'm globally known. That's something else that recently hit me very powerfully, where I'm going to end this shortly, is like, it was humbling. At the beginning of 2020, it kind of hit me like, man, I'm in 122 countries out of 195 countries in the world with quantum Reiki and Antojai alchemy. I'm a global shaman. I'm globally renowned. And it was just like, I was working so hard, so hard, so hard that I couldn't even see it. I had never even saw that. And when it finally hit me, like it hit me like a train, like boof, like hello, you feel like you haven't been doing anything at all, but this alone is a big feat. Like, what do you mean you haven't been doing anything? And that kind of brought me to that moment of like, I was stuck in an illusion that I wasn't doing good enough, that my vibration wasn't good enough because I wasn't producing as much content, because I wasn't doing this, or I wasn't doing that, or I wanted to be more like straightforward, but I don't feel like I can do that. And then I totally missed the present moment of saying like, you're a global shaman. When that came to me, I broke an illusion. And then I've been sitting with that next level, kind of just being like, okay, well, essentially success is mine. I've already attained success. And then something else has really opened my mind. It's just like, I know I keep saying I'm going to end this, but I'm just channeling right now. I guess I'm just going to go until I feel like I don't have any more then. This is something else that really hit me. Being a global shaman, when I wake up, I already wake up successful. But for such a long time, I was working towards success. I need to be successful, very 3D. But now I wake up successful. Something that a long time ago, I didn't even think was even possible. So now what am I waking up for? I can't say that I'm waking up pursuing success anymore, even though that's still part of the vibration that's coming in. 9:33 on the clock. Yeah, the masters are with us, helping us evolve. What am I waking up to now? And that forced me to be like, well, my next thing I want to do is wake up fulfilled. Like for such a long time, I was working under this 3D perception that I gotta hustle to make myself known. But now it's like, now that I don't have to hustle because I have it, what do you actually want, Axel? I just want to wake up fulfilled. I just want to wake up knowing that I'm doing my part, however that is. Maybe some days I don't want to heal. Maybe some days I just want to make videos. Maybe someday I don't want to do anything at all but meditate. Regardless of what it is that I'm doing, ascension is my lifestyle. Ascension is my vibration. And if this reality is my creation, then it's going to vibe at my speed. And I'm going to make sure that everything else is making me feel fulfilled. Because fulfillment eventually brings gratitude. Fulfillment eventually brings harmony. And then when you're doing that, what are you? If you're fulfilled, you're telling the law of attraction that you're fulfilled. And the law of attraction says, hey, you're fulfilled? Yeah, definitely. I'm totally fulfilled. Hey, you want to be like friends? let's be more fulfilled than ever. Like a really corny commercial, but it's the truth. You always have to remember that, like, you are the vibration itself. Like, everything's a mirror. If you're waking up not feeling successful, you're going to be trapped in this cycle of, like, you're not doing anything. You're not ever good enough. And it's taken me, I think, literally 15, 20 years to really come to that. Like, I'm trying to save you a lot of time. I'm about to be 30, and 20 years of my life was me literally spending every second hustling because I wasn't good enough. And if I didn't hustle, then I wasn't going to amount to my vibration, my mission, and I was going to fail. Now that I see that, it's kind of like, what's the point? Like, the point of reality is to be at peace. The point of reality is to find fulfillment. And as I fulfill myself, I fulfill others who are looking for fulfillment, and we walk closer into a parallel reality that is known as New Earth, where everyone feels fulfilled because everyone's vibing in truth and authenticity, and no one has time for BS. That is my New Earth. You're each walking towards a new Earth. Who's to say that New Earth is just this one singular vibration? Who's to say that New Earth is just my version of New Earth, where everyone is like BS zero? Maybe your New Earth is this vibration where everyone wants to create uh this huge community of coexistence and, like, farming, right? Technically, you're entitled to that. So what is it that you want? What are you doing? What, are you stuck in an illusion? I was stuck in that illusion of success. I was stuck in that illusion of having to be a healer, to the point where I got to being one of the best healers on the planet. And now I don't even like healing anymore. I've learned too much about healing for it to say that it's my fulfillment. But you know what fulfills me? Giving you all the knowledge that it took me forever to find. Literally. And that's one of the things that really changed most recently, is like, I create everything in a 3D manner because I felt like people needed to digest it in that way, in lengthy courses and one-on-ones. Like, yeah, that works for certain people, but that doesn't work for everybody. And not everyone's going to have access to me the way, like, people locally do, right? Not everyone's going to have the resources to get a hold of me either. So how do I make myself more efficient as a being of light that is here to exist? How to make myself more efficient? I just start sharing everything I've learned. I'm a literally walking encyclopedia. You probably are a walking encyclopedia too. Or maybe you're just a walking generator, and you've been telling yourself that you're a healer, and you've been throttling all of your capabilities by 70% because you think you're just good enough to be a healer. Reality is yours, you guys. You are your own creator. I love you. Thank you. I think I'm done channeling now. And I looked at the clock, it was 33:37 when I was like, okay, I'm done. So sending you lots of love. Share this with your peeps, and comment, like, put down there, like, whatever it is that you feel like you want me to create a course out of. Put down there anything that you want me to really, like, start talking about, because I feel more fulfilled making you feel fulfilled. So make sure you don't hide anything from me, because I'm here for you. Send you lots of love. Touch you later.